Hi there. I want to give people a quick rundown on Prince Edward Island's minimum wage report for 2020 because there's some interesting tidbits in here. So, opposition to a minimum wage increase at this time, we could just cut this off, and that would be true literally every moment of time ever to exist, ever. No particular opposition to reasonable minimum wage increases under favorable economic conditions. Another way you might hear a person say that is like, dude, if I'm fucking killing it, I'll slide you the fucking some cheddar, dude. But like, fucking can't help you otherwise. The observation that increasing the minimum wage exerts pressure on employers to increase wages for other workers, which further increases labor costs. Okay, this is just a in terms of a business, saying this is, why would I invest in my business when it increases the cost? Because you're investing in the business. Aren't you a business owner? I thought that one was pretty apparent. Guess not. And then this one, this is just great. Imagine having two kids, and one of your kids is like, Ma, could I join the soccer team? And you're like, son, if you join the soccer team, your sister's gonna want to go to ballet with her friends. Okay, I can't be treating you guys like actual children, caring about you, friends, and active. Like, get out of here with this. What are you in? So, what are you, a socialist? Get out of here, Bernie Sanders. And then you come down, what is this one? That's fair. Not going to knock him for that. This one is also, to say this is fair would be an understatement. This is what countries that understand math do, basically. And then this one is a doozy. So 7% of minimum wage earners live in low income households. So they're basically like, oh, the dirty poors. And keep in mind, this is the people that work for them. This is how they're speaking about the people that generate the money for them. And then most, 50% or higher, which is an interesting stat because it's kind of like, what do you mean? You mean 50 or 51? Or do you mean 50 or 80? Because I think I know what it is, and I think you wrote that for a very specific reason. Anyways, moving on. 50% are minimum wage earners are 15 to 24-year-olds. You know, the people that don't deserve money for some reason. It's weird. I was unaware of this rule growing up in Canada, but up until 24, go fuck yourself. What do you need money for? What do you eat food? What are you, stupid? So, moving on. Warnings that increase to the minimum wage rate could have negative impacts on the availability of jobs and work hours. That's both wrong and a half threat. And then this is just a full on veiled threat. And I find this hilarious coming from businesses on Prince Edward Island. Oh, really? It's fucking old Terry's fucking carpet cleaning. Oh, we're gonna get technology and automation. Oh, fuck you, Terry. You fucking idiot. You couldn't run a goddamn vacuum. And then here's the great one. Advocating for the use of government tax policy. Because last time I checked, you take a restaurant and you take the cooks and the servers out and the bartenders. Guess what that restaurant is? It's a big box of debt. Have fun with your big box of debt, guy. So it's kind of funny when they talk mad shit. Like almost all of these points, other than these two, are them just talking complete garbage about the people that generate and operate and run their business on a day-to-day basis. Could you be a little bit more of a dick? So this is all just normal human speech of people being like, hey, could we live a little bit? I'd like to eat food. So there's not really much of a point to go over that. But here's some interesting things, just a few considerations the board took. Some of these are, reasonable. Effects of raising minimum wage can include increased consumer spending, which is true, and that's a huge driver of every economy. Better health outcomes, lower wage inequality, especially for women. And then we get to this part. An increase in minimum wage may have an indirect negative impact for employees, such as reduced employment or hours of work due to higher costs to employers. Just going to jump over to something here. This is a interesting little study done by these two fellers here. This guy, I think, is Canadian, actually. And if you're wondering, like, oh, what's one study? Well, these two guys won a Nobel Prize in economics for this quote-unquote one study. And If you want to learn more about this or economics, by the way, go watch a channel called Economics Explained, the Australian fella, where he speaks better Australian than this because he's actually Australian and actually knows economy. And so it's on minimum wages and employment in the fast food industry. Now, I just zoomed down to the conclusion here because it's kind of a lot easier to look at it all in one place here. We find no evidence that the rise in New Jersey's minimum wage reduced employment at fast food restaurants in the state. We find that the increase in the minimum wage with an I, increase employment. They also present a wide variety of alternative specifications to probe the robustness of this conclusion. Basically, like, how sure can we be of this conclusion? None of the alternatives showed a negative employment effect. So, charlatan businesses that think they can get robots to replace people to pick strawberries, or two economists who won the Nobel Prize for economics. It's a tough one, right? It's tough. Who do you believe? And although I didn't stick on it, one of the people that gave their oral presentation, they mentioned how currently a lot of places should probably be at like $15 to $18 to have a livable wage. And I just find it so funny that they were like, we hear you loud and clear. 15 cents it is. Bang! Done. And the lady's like, wait, no. I was like, we got it. It's over. Solved it. At home, guys. It's been a good day of governance.